Because Zero was about what type of, if there was a particular type of HHO device that you favor above others. So Zero, here's your answer to your question.
Well, finally somebody got it right. This is the title of my topic. And this company, I'll tell you why. I've seen companies waste tens of millions of dollars and not get it right on HHO. I've tested many cells. I've seen dozens of cells. I've seen results around them, and I've talked to some good people, but I ran into two people. In fact, we tested their system this week, and they had a system. We'd commissioned another system to get some gas out, and their system was producing 6 litre a minute at 72 amps at 13 or 12 volts. The other system we'd bought, it was chewing 112 amps, and I looked at this, and they got everything right. Now, there's more to a cell than just bolting a few plates, what people call the dry cell. The one you have a plate, a seal, a plate, you bolt them all together. But if you just do that, you run into some problems. One is they often chew up, if they're not done properly, they chew up too much energy, they blow PWMs, so the devices that sort of keep them cool, and chop the current. They have uneven gas flow. First thing I test, get a little flow meter and see if the gas flow is even. They dry out the gas, and it's all to do that. These people, it's a husband and wife, and she's the first lady I've ever met who knows technically as much as anybody I've ever met about HHO, helps run the business. Unfortunately, she doesn't have a sister. I found that out, so I'm out of luck again. But there's Scott and Jen, and they're from a company called Central Valley HHO. And if you want to see a really good cell, I think they've got a website. I'd go sell the systems direct, but they can soon tell you where you can get them. They're not cheap, but they're quality. What they did right was, first, they understand the metallurgy. They bought their metals from overseas, and they've got, bad for America, but they've got really good metal. They've got brilliant seals. They've got a mechanism so the plates will never leak. Their PWM is perfectly matched to the cell, and they can do variable gas throws on the fly. And I've seen data. I'm one for science and data, Gary. I'm a boring old fart. But I need to see. I've seen data logging for 6 from them, and I know when we put their system on, I was getting the best results I ever got from any system I've ever tested. And we're using multi-million-dollar cells and labs to do this. So it was really funny. The only reason I never recommend a product, okay? But when you travel for years, you see titanium cells, you see glass jars with 2 bolts in, you see, I've seen just about everything. Finally, somebody got it right, and I love their cell. The biggest secret they got is their manifold design. So rather than bolt, plates, bolts, seals, bolts, a whole series of plates, they have a manifold, specially designed manifold in the middle, and that is the core to the secret of why they're getting good gas flow and everything else that it's doing good. And I've never seen that before. So they really spent years. The other thing I like about it is, look, I've seen very big, large corporations go into HHO business, and one friend telling me they had to replace it 8 times on the unit. 8 times it broke down. These things, they've had a PWM fail or the actual cell fail in the field. They've had a couple of things gone wrong, but they've learned how to fix them. More importantly, they're continuously developing. So they now know how to do the variable gas, map it to the engine. They know how to do these things. And I don't often get excited about this stuff. I normally go to sleep. But as soon as I met them, 2 of the best people I've met, just good people, and they know their stuff, and they're all about doing the right thing. Rather than growing to a huge big corporation straight away, they've just focused on developing a quality product. So there's dry cells, that's my favourite. And this one is a dry cell, but with a lot of differences. And, I don't often plug stuff, but hell, this thing really set me back in my tracks. I thought, wow. So I shouldn't plug, I guess, stuff, but they've done this right. And I'm talking about, let's say, 150 cells I've seen. They've done it right. And there's only about 3 or 4
fess up, how much of a commission are they giving you?
I get nothing from them. Actually, I'm getting nothing from them. In fact, I don't ask for donations or take money. But somebody, I think after your last show, I had a lot of emails requesting me to do a website. So I'm actually paying their daughter to construct a website for me. Darth Dansie and
DarthDansie.com, huh?
yeah, so you can said you can keep the advertising revenue. I'll just do a blog. I haven't got time to do build a web page.
To be honest with you, that's all
But
I've got time.
I don't get commission, but normally 90% of the time I'm an arsehole. I'm just telling people how bad their stuff is. This one, I normally walk and go, that's crap, that's crap, that's crap, because that's my job, to find out all the faults. I'm not saying they got perfection. There are 3 or 4 other companies I know that produce really good cells as well, and there's some very knowledgeable ones out there. Unfortunately, in the industry, and that's why they got banned in Germany, there's a lot of junk out there. I've heard of cells exploding, taking toolboxes across freeways. One lady talked to me about 4 years ago. Hers blew up in a van. It was inside a van in the cargo area and sprayed them all with all the shrapnel. There's some very, very dangerous stuff out there. And there are some good systems. This isn't the only company, but one is the one that goes to the top of my list for 2 reasons. Really good people, very dedicated, and the cell works absolutely flawlessly. I've been running one for a month, actually. We threw the other one away and kept this one and said, send us another one. So they did, because we're pumping some pretty big volumes of gas in just to see what it does.
One interesting question. There are some commercial HHO welding machines